Yo, what's up, guys? Quick live stream before the game start. Let's find some bets. So let me share my screen. There is a ton of value on PrizePicks right now. So let me share my screen and let's get it going. And happy Friday to everyone. We got a big game coming up, Missouri versus Ohio State. So lines have been, they moved towards Ohio State a bit. Now they're moving a bit back towards Missouri. But anyways, let's just start out really quick on PrizePicks because there is a shit ton of value on PrizePicks. So let's load it up. You can see just a ton of line discrepancies on PrizePicks right now. So for example, one of the first picks, it's honestly crazy that this is available. But if you look at JJ McCarthy, just as a simple example, PrizePicks has his line at 202 half passing yards. And if you go to, all the other sports books like FanDuel, they in general have his line around 190, 185 half. So you can see it's like PrizePicks has him at 202 half. All these other books have him at 190 and a half. FanDuel's all the way down at 185 and a half. So what you could do is you could bet his over on FanDuel, his under on PrizePicks, and then if he has 186 to 202 passing yards, you'll win both bets. So that's called a middle bet. And you got to remember, like JJ McCarthy, he's not going to throw for 500 yards. He's not going to throw for 20 yards. So those yards in the center of the distribution, of his distribution, that's most impactful, is him throwing 186 to 202 passing yards. But regardless, what we can do, obviously this game's still a few days away, but I mean, all these books, they're taking bets, moving around lines based on where action's coming in. McCarthy has a pretty low passing line. It's like all these books are data points. All these books have models, pretty sophisticated models. They're taking bets, moving lines around based on where action's coming in. Like, they're not stupid. If everyone starts betting is over, the line will move higher. So I'm not really sure what PrizePicks is doing with his line at 202 half, but definitely seems like a good play. And it's the same thing for the Alabama quarterback, right? You can see here for Monroe, it's like PrizePicks has his line at 208 half. All these other books have his line around 194. So I have no idea what PrizePicks is doing because they have so many of these college football lines. And obviously you can't bet college football in every state, but they're screwing up a lot of these lines. So if we actually take a look, we can see another play. And sometimes the values in college football, so this game's tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Sometimes there's more value in the NBA, but like all the books have his line at 186, 167 and a half. We could also middle bet this with Underdog. So you can see Underdog, they didn't have lines up. A lot of books are dropping lines, which is why a lot of these, discrepancies are starting to pop up. So if we go here, got a little bit of a cold, but if we go here to Underdog Fantasy, it's like, not a bad idea. Wouldn't be a bad play if we hit his over. Let's go here. And again, this is all possible because all these books set lines independently, but we could hit his over on Underdog. We could hit his under on PrizePicks. We could do that. We don't have to do that, but we could do that. But anyways, it clearly seems like PrizePicks is the side screwing up. So that's the first play we can go with. And then we can go back here and let's get rid of ParlayPlay for a bit. Not that I don't like ParlayPlay. It's a good book to have. Here's a play I locked in on Fliff as well. I think this is a really good play. Jokic over 9.5 assists. They're playing the Thunder, so he'll probably play minutes. And if you take a look at the odds, it's like on Fliff, you're getting this at plus 100. Every other book, like Hot Streak, Pinnacle right there, known to be one of the sharpest books. FanDuel, they have Jokic's over favored, right? Plus 100 odds is like, it's like flipping a coin with a friend for $100. You win, you get $100. You lose $100. But in this case, like the coin is weighted in our favor. All the other books, Pinnacle, Hot Streak, FanDuel, they have Jokic's over favored, and we're getting plus 100. So it's like finding a coin that's 53% to show up on heads and flipping it with a friend for $100. But anyways, let's try to finish off this PrizePicks slip, and then we can go over to Fliff. I mean, we can take a look at a few different books. But anyways, let's just refresh PrizePicks real quickly, and hopefully we can find some plays. So another good one on PrizePicks is Herbert over 26.5 rushing yards. So if we go back here, is we can take a look at PrizePicks right here. So the way that PrizePicks works is if you take a player's over or his under, so we can go here to Herbert. If you take his over or his under, right, we're getting the same payout regardless. So why is the positive EV tool recommending this bet right here? It's all just data, no bullshit. Is you'll see all the books have him favored to go over. You know, you look at Bovada, you look at Pinnacle, they have his over 26.5 rushing yards favored. The way that PrizePicks works is you take a player's over or his under, you get the same payout regardless. So we want to take his over. So anyways, let's go back here to PrizePicks. And you can see a lot of college football line discrepancies. I mean, one play that's kind of good to pair, for example, this going back to college football, is Asante under 35 half rushing, receiving yards. I apologize. So again, like, you know, the reason this pairs nicely is we're already on the quarterback, Wyoming's quarterback, to go under in passing yards, which is a play that has, first of all, has really good value relative to the market. And again, like, everything is baked into the lines on books, lineups, weather, injuries. That's why you want to look at real-time data, not, you know, these last 5 graphs. They're not that useful. Everything is baked into the market, the odds that books are putting out. And you're going to see, like, all the books have him favored, you know, or have his line significantly lower. So the way you can kind of think about this, you don't even need to know anything about this player. It's like you're selling a stock at $35.50 when it's trading in the market at $27.50. Like, you're getting, you know, 35% value relative to the rest of the market. And obviously finding value is important to making money. And there are just a lot of plays available right now. So here's another one. I mean, we have Quinn Ewers, right? We have in Texas, Washington, we have Grayson Allen under 12.5 points. I mean, there's just a bunch of college football lines that just seem to have come out. So then we have Zeke over 4.5 receptions. So really, like, on PrizePicks, you either want to find line discrepancies or you want to find spots like this play on Elliott. So let's go here. So let's go to Elliott. So right here, we want to take Elliott over 4.5 receptions. Where is it? So this is the play we want to take. And let's go back here. We want to take him over 4.5 receptions. So again, so PrizePicks adds in a payout shift because I tried correlating 2 of these plays. So what I'm going to need to do is add a 6 pick, because when you add a 6 pick, they don't add the payout shift. So if I add, like, you know, some random 6 pick, you'll see the payout shift goes away. And again, like, if you go through the math behind PrizePicks, which I've done in other videos, basically on PrizePicks, to be profitable, all you got to do is be able to win your over-unders, just like Elliott over under 4.5 receptions. All you got to do to be profitable, assuming no payout shift. So they have a payout shift here, but assuming no payout shift, is just win these over-unders above 54.25% of the time, which isn't easy to do, right? You got to win 55% of your picks, only losing 45% of your picks. And the way PrizePicks makes money is they know most people, you know, they can't win 55, only losing 45% of your picks. You need a real edge. But the easiest way to find picks, winning above 54.25% of the time, is you compare PrizePicks to the books. All the books have Elliott heavily favored to go over. So it's like, okay, like, this is a good play to go with. And then, you know, we have tons of options we can go with for the final pick. So we have McCarthy, Milroe. I mean, we got tons of unders in this game. And we're just kind of using information to our advantage. So here's a play. We actually hit this earlier, but whatever. I'm going to lock it in again. This is for the PSU game, under 31.5 receiving yards. And following data, like, you'll see PrizePicks. Where is it? If I try to lock this in, I mean, I'm not even sure why it's not letting me place this bet. I mean, we'll see if they do now. But you'll see they hit me with where is it? You'll see right here. Maximum entry amount is $25. So I used to have much better betting limits on PrizePicks, but they kind of hit me with some lower limits recently. So part of it too is, like, you know, it sucks only being able to bet $25, but that's just kind of how it goes. That's why you want to have multiple, you know, sports books. So max winnings on a single pick is $1,000. So they add all these books, add all these reasons, you know, for not letting you try to bet things, which sucks, but they're not going to let me bet this play because of my max winning. So, okay, like I got to skip that over. We could take Blake Corum over in rushing yards. So here's actually value on the over. So that seems like a halfway decent play to go with. Or we can just go a little lower and we can take Grayson Allen under 12.5 points. So I'm fine with that as our 6th pick. And we got NBA, NFL, and then some college football. And you can see again, like these limits suck. That's just kind of how it goes. And that's also why, like, you just follow the data. You find picks winning about 54.25% of the time. You lock them in. Some books are going to have worse limits than others. You know, I use Underdog, PrizePicks, all these books I use. Some books have better limits than others. But, you know, it's also why you want to place a lot of bets on a daily basis. PrizePicks has pretty low betting limits. But if you're using a ton of books, you know, you kind of create like a diversified portfolio of plays that all have an edge. So anyways, second play we can go to, why not, is we have Ducks under 2.5 team total regular time. So, you know, sometimes there's more value on Fliff. Sometimes it's PrizePicks. So I always recommend, you know, get as many of these books as possible. Fliff is legal in most states. So home team under 2.5 plus 250. So Fliff has a max bet size of 250. So I just hit this for 250. Just kind of how it goes. And this play on Jokic already locked in, so I'm not going to be able to lock it in again. But again, there's hundreds of sports books, FanDuel, Caesars, DraftKings, Bet Rivers, you know, No House Advantage, I actually think went out of business, but whatever, that's beside the point. WinBet's a great book. WinBet actually has the best betting limits, for me at least. So there's obviously a benefit of using a bunch of sports books, multiple books, because again, you never know which book is going to have value on a given day. Turns out the best play currently available, data-driven bet, is actually in Arsenal Liverpool. This game's still over a week away, so I'm not going to bet it. But this is the same thing. We're getting plus 100. Pinnacle, which is definitely the sharpest book for soccer, and DraftKings both have the over favored, right? And those are just the books in New York. We could, you know, switch our state to Alabama if you want to see like all the sports books. Anyways, so you can see a ton of bets available right now. We got bets on ESPN Bet is a new sports book. I mean, there's just a lot of options. It's like kind of overwhelming. But anyways, let's go back here. So we got some good plays down on PrizePicks. Little 6-pick entry right here. Hopefully you can see it. We have some solid correlation on Peasley and Asante under in the Wyoming game, in the bowl game tomorrow. And then there's also value on ParlayPlay. ParlayPlay has the same payout structure as PrizePicks, 25 2.4x. The only difference between these platforms is they have different lines from one another. So like Bradley Beal under 3.5 rebounds, it's the same thing. You got to win above 54.25% of your picks to be profitable on ParlayPlay. But this, like, PrizePicks doesn't have Beal's line at 3.5 rebounds. Like, if you go here, I mean, knowing Bradley Beal, he'll get injured 2 minutes into the game, or it's actually 3.5. You can see PrizePicks doesn't even have a rebound line up for him. Like, if you want to place this bet, it's only available, you know, on ParlayPlay, which is the benefits of ideally using multiple sports books. But anyways, we can go over to Underdog Fantasy and see if there's anything, you know, that we want to take advantage of on Underdog. Because there's a lot of plays on ParlayPlay. There's some good value on PrizePicks. I mean, a lot of value in general right now. So what we can do is we can go over to Underdog Fantasy, see if we can find anything. Obviously, the game starts in 5 minutes, so let's keep this short. We can put in FanDuel, DraftKings as well. On Underdog, I mean, there's a good esports play, but not much of anything else. So, you know, PrizePicks is the platform to be on today. Sometimes there's a lot more value on Underdog, and on these live streams, we do a lot more Underdog. I mean, there's a good esports play. You look at Dewushka. His line on Underdog is 29. On all these other books, 25.5. So again, you could middle it, hit the over 25.5, the under 29. Or it's like, okay, like Underdog 29, these other books have them, you know, lower. So we could middle this with ParlayPlay, hit the over 25.5, the under 29. Or you could just bet the under on Underdog. It's kind of up to you, but we're using information kind of to our advantage. All these books have sophisticated models, just kind of following the value in the market. So anyways, what do we want to go to next? So we could take a look at ParlayPlay, but the game's about to start. Meh. So there's some good bets on FanDuel. We already have these plays on Fliff on DraftKings. Sometimes there's good middle bets. So we discussed earlier, like, middle betting opportunities, like on McCarthy. So you can see, like, you could bet the under 202 half here, and then you could head over to FanDuel and bet him over 184 half or whatever it was. We can go over to better. I mean, really, you want to use as many of these books as possible, but sometimes it's a little overwhelming. Just because there's so many sports books in each state, it's honestly crazy. So we already have this play on Devin Booker. I mean, yeah, anyways, the game's about to start. We'll call it a day for now. Hopefully this live stream was helpful. And any questions you have, about arbitrage betting or middle betting, whatever, feel free to DM me on Twitter. And hopefully our bets win tonight.